You're complaining about a B plus? If I got a C, I would be so happy. I probably still get a butt whooping from my parents, but hey, at least I am not failing. Welcome back, guys. I watched this low-budget movie called Dismissed, starring Dylan Sprouse. Now, if I'm being honest, when I watched the trailer of this film, I wasn't on board at all. My expectations for it was kind of low because I feel like the trailer, the way it was edited, it made me not want to watch it because I feel like it was revealing too much. And at the same time, I couldn't take Dylan too serious in that kind of role. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved him from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but watching him in that trailer, I was just like, I don't know if he gives off like that villainy type. But man, I was wrong. And I am so glad that I was wrong because Dylan Sprouse can act. I mean, like, this role that he portrays, this straight A honor student or whatever, like, he was very serious. He seemed like he was crazy when he needed to be crazy, and he was very cynical in everything that he did. The plot of this movie sounds very silly because it's basically about a teacher who's played by Kent Osborne who gives Dylan a B plus on this paper that he wrote. And it's not even a paper, it's a freaking book that he wrote, and you know, they have different ideas, and you know, he starts questioning where he got his degree from, which is pretty messed up. You know, when that scene hit, I was like, damn, he just questioned where he got his master's from or his degree. And that was a pretty powerful scene. But everything goes south after that B plus. Like, you know, he really wants this A. Like, it's like I said in my intro, if I got a C, I would be happy because that means I'm not failing in my classes. But in this case, he's a straight A student. He will do anything to get what he wants. Now, the movie, like I said, guys, it sounds super silly that a movie should be taken serious like this. And in the same way, the movie is kind of predictable because I feel like I've seen movies where, you know, like this good kid that looks, you know, straight edge and like, you know, he wouldn't hurt a fly, ends up being like the bad guy. But I mean, we get that from the trailer, but the way that he does it in this film is amazing. I really like what Dylan was going for, you know, like he's very serious. He like has like this super cool haircut. He's always dressed up in like a nice suit. He has his little briefcase that he carries around. So that whole persona of him just showing up to class in this school where apparently none of the kids give a shit about English literature, it just fit in so well for me because he stuck out like a sore thumb. And I mean, he even threatens a kid in the movie and they're just like, oh shit, you know. And he was kind of like the bully, but I feel like that situation should have gone a different way, but I'm just gonna let it go because it was a pretty cool scene to watch. Now, the movie itself is kind of short and it builds up a lot of tension. Like I said, the movie can be predictable because I feel like I've seen this so many times, and like with the plot being silly, it actually doesn't like diminish its quality because of the acting. The acting throughout the entire film from every single cast member was pretty solid. A lot of the things that Dylan does to like try to turn things on the teacher are pretty clever. The only thing about the movie itself, I would say, was the third act of the film. I feel like they rushed through so many things because a lot of things happen in such a little time because of the running time. So I felt like the suspense just started going all over the place, and I feel like some of those scenes didn't clash so well, especially up to the end of the film. It's like I kind of wanted to see more, you know, what happens after, because they have to deal with like the principal, they have to deal with the detectives, they have to deal with the teacher, they have to deal with Lucas's father, who's like a bum. He's been covering for his kid for a very long time. Then we kind of touch base on his past, which was pretty cool, but at the same time I feel like I wanted to see a little bit more. That this is one of those rare occasions where I wanted a little bit more exposition on the past, but I was okay with what they showed me. One other issue I kind of had was with one of the students that he gets involved with. She was kind of just thrown in. I feel like some of the scenes with her and the teacher were kind of forced, especially the relationship that Lucas was trying to make her have with this teacher. It just kind of didn't feel believable to me, but at least we get a pretty intense scene with her and Dylan because things, like I said, you know, get pretty twisted and they go south dramatically. So the movie itself, guys, I would say is definitely worth checking out. I mean, it may sound silly at first and you may say, shit, you know, I've seen this kind of plot many times, and like I said, you may be right. You know, you might have seen it, you might be able to predict a lot of things, but it's one of those movies where I know it's very cliched and there's a lot of stuff that you can predict, but the way that the script and the performances are done in this film were very good, and I really like that. I really want to see what Dylan can do in future movies where he has a serious role. I feel like he did a great job in this movie, so I look forward to his other work. So with that said, guys, aside from the third act, I'm gonna give this one a 3.6 out of 5. I know I'm giving this one a really high rating for like the budget and stuff like that, but I actually found myself enjoying it a lot, and you know, that's what movies are for my enjoyment, and this one happened to entertain me throughout the entire film. So guys, if you have seen this movie, please let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Another movie that I think is very underrated and low budget is Super Dark Times. That's again another murder thriller, I would say, that you guys should check out, so make sure to check that one out if you haven't already. But if you guys are new to my channel, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell at the bottom. Also, like my video and share it with some of your friends. But as always, guys, stay tuned.